Hello, it's Brody back again with a quick fragrance first impressions video. I haven't done one of these in ages. And this is the follow-up bit to a video that I filmed maybe a month ago when this arrived. And I'll be taking a look at Ensar Oud's latest or the first EDP release, and this is called Number One. So I've had this for probably a month now. What I will do is I'll splice in the video of me smelling it for the first time so you can see how I reacted to that, and I will then post my follow-up thoughts after wearing it for several wears. So I shall now unbox it. It looks really awesome. And as well, there was some fella who created the leather here. Jesus, even this leather smells. Wow. Okay, I could just smell this. I could spend the rest of this video just smelling this bottle. But there's some guy that they've teamed up with who he's basically like a master hides craftsman, and he's done things like applying leather to Bibles, and I've had a shower just now, so should have clean skin. Give it one spray and give it a little bit of time to settle down. Wow. Okay. I haven't smelled my hand yet, but there's definitely a fragrance within the air. First of all, I thought there was a very musky accord. Like, it seemed there was a prominent deer musk, which I wouldn't be surprised if they've used that in here, because I know they do have a source of deer musk because they compose a similar attar that is comprised of deer musk. There seemed to be a tiny bit of a little bit of fruit, and I believe there's two types of oud in here as well as the leather. So I'm going to give this a sniff. Okay, the fragrance smells like this does. This actually seems a bit more stronger, which is kind of odd, but I'm smelling it a close-up for the first time. I don't know. I can definitely get a kind of oud from here, but I couldn't tell you which region it's from. The leather feels more plush than other ones I've tried. I mean, there's definitely a more realness to it, you know. It does smell closer to this leather as opposed to something like, what can I say, History is a Parfum 1740 or Antaeus by Chanel. Like, they all have like a leather feel, but this has like an actual leather feel. Right, so I'll be totally honest, I was a little underwhelmed with this when I first bought it. This cost a pretty penny, and I didn't really feel that the price was justified by what I was smelling. I didn't seem to get very good performance, and I was just not too enthralled by the smell itself. However, I did post this on base notes as well, and I instantly had people saying, "Let me buy it off you." I said no, I want to keep it and see if this fragrance grows upon me, and it has. I now get a consistent 10 to 12 hours from a wearing. I've worn it to work several times, and as well as testing it around the house, and the performance is definitely good. There's nothing to be scoffed at here, which is a big relief to me. Not that anybody really needs 10 to 12 hours of performance, but you know, 10 hours is a working day, so for it to last that long is great. I'm not sure how good the projection is, but I do catch occasional wafts of it myself, so again, the projection is not too light, and I don't think it's like extremely heavy. The oud this here is quite quiet. It's not a Hindi oud by any means. There's no fecalness, there's no barnyard, there's none of that classical oud elements which people probably associate with oud. Oud, as a note, is such a multifaceted smell. It covers a massive range of spectrums. So most things you smell that are oud based, like synthetic fragrances, they all seem to kind of mirror the Hindi ouds, which are the smelly, stinky, barnyardy ouds. Not that I mean smelly and stinky in a nasty way, because I do really like my Hindi ouds, but the synthetic ones always seem to take that really harsh approach. There's like Thai ouds can be much more fruity and like honey-ish, but you don't really get many synthetic fragrances that I know of that emulate that style. But the oud that's used in here, it's smooth, very smooth, as smooth as my head actually. It's delicate, you know, there's no... It probably does ride very perfectly unisex. It doesn't come off as too masculine. It probably harkens back to the glory days of older vintage fragrances. It does have this kind of older scent to it. I noticed in my first spray that I seem to get a muskiness from it, and that's consistent. Every time I try it on for the first time, I definitely get this aspect of musk. I also felt like I got some citrus notes, but I don't think that's the case now. And I may be mistaken that for florals, potentially a touch of rose. I still haven't seen the notes published, but I'm not sure. The oud, it's hard to determine where the oud is from. It could be somewhere like Borneo, like the oud is quite transparent. It's 100% there. I have Ensar on Facebook, and I believe he did say that the oud itself is what creates the leather accord. Like there's no actual... I believe it's birch tar that is used for kind of giving leather, and I don't think that was used here, but the oud just works extremely well in this composition. I find that, yes, it is pricey, but it's an astoundingly good fragrance for the price. I think that you can definitely tell there's no synthetic aspects in there. One way I can tell this is I've been getting into my artisanal fragrances recently, like ouds and attars, and the one hallmark I've noticed is the lasting power isn't amazing. Like, my candidate is I can go to bed with a fragrance oil that I've put on my hand that I've applied maybe an hour before bedtime. I will wake up and it's gone. And by contrast, I purchased many of these samples, which is of the brand Abdul Karim Al Faranzi, and I believe these are quite heavily synthetic because, for example, I put quite a few of these on my arms last night, and when I woke up they were still very prominent, and I had to wash them off to go to basically allow myself to apply some fresh oils. So when you wear natural fragrances, they just seem to rub off and they aren't as tenacious as synthetics, and that's the feeling I get with this. Obviously it's using some kind of carrier oil, whether it's alcohol to kind of, you know, carry it onto your skin because it's in a spray form. So it's obviously not as concentrated really as an oil. However, the strength is really up to par in my eyes. So back to the aroma, I find wearing this makes me feel like I'm projecting a opulent and somewhat classy. I'm not a classy guy by any means, but I do feel that this scent can help to impart that impression onto somebody, and there's definitely just a character to it, you know. It's a good one. I'm hoping there'll be more released by the brand, obviously named #1. It kind of does seem to be setting a precedent for others to come along, whether it be #2, #3, etc. I'm wearing this as my scent of the day tonight, and I'm really enjoying it. I do catch the occasional waft, and it's a very pleasing. There's nothing, like I said, the oud is not turn away. People aren't going to be repulsed by this. It's very inviting, comforting, and I believe it just gives you a very delicate aroma. So I'm going to cut this short and end it there, guys. I'm not reviewing this yet. I may never will. Maybe it'll take me a year. I know this video may be a bit hard because obviously now you basically can't get it, but I just thought I would give a quick first impression of that anyway. So thank you for watching, and I'll hope to be back with more fragrance videos in the future. I may be taking a bit of a different take on my channel now. Like I've said, I've become more involved in ouds and attars. The sprays that I used to wear aren't so appealing to me nowadays. I do tend to get headaches from most sprays, and I don't wear as many sprays as I did before. So you certainly won't be seeing any more 700 sprays videos from me in the future. So with that in mind, guys, thanks for watching, and until the next video, take care and have a great night, evening, day, morning, etc. Bye.